Hello YouTube family, it's SP Prepper back with another video. And I was thinking, normally when we have, or when they say we're going to have a snowstorm or tornado, hurricane warning, or whatever, the first thing be going from the grocery stores is the water, milk, bread, toilet paper. For some odd reason, that seems to be some people's go-to for disaster preparation. So I was thinking, what if the supply chain got disrupted and we needed a little bit more than that and the markets was totally empty? What would people do? Where would it'll be chaos? And I think we need to try to prepare for something like that happening. Go beyond the milk, water, bread, and toilet paper, and maybe get canned goods and stuff like that. That we may need to stay afloat for, I don't know, maybe 72 hours or better. So how prepared are we for something like that could happen? And I see people at times where if the bad weather or tornado, hurricane warning comes and they go crazy because they can't get a loaf of bread, they can't get any water out the store, there's no toilet paper, they can't get any milk. So what happens when you can't get anything? What happens is if it ever gets to that bad, I would think that the average person wouldn't want to be out there trying to find something, putting themselves in danger, their family in danger, trying to find something, when there are steps to take to put yourself in a situation where you won't have to go through that if something like that does happen. So I think that we should try to take this stuff a little bit more serious, because we don't know what's going to happen right now. I know the fuel prices is through the roof, and they're saying it's supposed to be some supply chain I don't know, disruptions due to the fuel prices. So before it gets too bad, I think we need to try to prepare ourselves and our family so we won't have to be out there trying to ramble through stores and try to see what we can grab at the last minute when everybody's going to be out there. It's going to be chaos. So, I don't think nobody wants to put themselves or their family in danger. So I think we need to try to prepare so we don't have to be involved in the chaos. We can just sort of just fall back in out of sight, out of mind, and do what we need to do as preppers. Because, of course, everybody is not on board with us as preppers. Some people actually think the government, for some odd reason, is going to save us. And I'm not into the politics. I'm not getting into all that. All I'm saying is nobody is going to save us. We have to save ourselves. I don't think nobody's going to save us. I think that's just not going to happen. For us to depend or wait for somebody to come save us in a SHTF situation, I don't think it's going to happen. That's just my opinion. It could happen. I just don't see it happening. So I think we need to prepare ourselves and our families for things like that. And any, I want to say, non-life-threatening medical events, butterfly stitches, Band-Aids, splints, these the Israeli, I forget what they're called. I don't even really want to call them Israelis, but is these tourniquets, gauze, pain relievers. Some stuff that we can grab now before it gets totally chaos. Some people still use batteries. Some people still stuck in that area where they need batteries for their stuff. I prefer not to go that route. I prefer more to go the rechargeable way, as far as with the USB charging. opposed to the batteries, because that way you ain't got to worry about always scrambling for batteries. Something happened to the batteries. I'm not saying don't go with batteries. I'm just saying I prefer not to have to worry about the battery part. I remember we had a storm. I forget how many years ago it was back, and I was trying to find batteries and couldn't find no batteries. I mean, the only batteries was in the store, because I mean, stores had anything at that time was those little circle batteries that, I don't know, watches or whatever those circle batteries used for. I don't know. Those were the only batteries in the store, and I was thinking like, dang, like what can I do to put myself in a better situation? And this was like before I even really started getting into prepping. And I was thinking, like, what can I do to put myself in a situation that I ain't got to worry about batteries no more? Because I can see right now everybody's going for the batteries. And yeah, I mean, it was a blackout for a few days, and it was no lights. People was getting those sort of like Christmas lights things that was in Dollar Tree. There's getting anything for light, and I said I got to do something better. That's not going to require me having batteries, because I could see it was going to be a hardship getting batteries. So that's one thing we need to take into account too. I mean, depending on where you live at in the world, some people live in areas where if the street lights don't come on at night, they're in like total darkness. So I think, yeah, we just need to start, preparing just for anything that may happen. Who knows what may happen, but I think we just need to stay on top of it. Try to stay on top of it so we don't have to be out there in the chaos trying to see what we can scavenge or whatever's left in these retail stores for us. And yeah, we have to I think we need to just take it a little bit more serious, and it's time to step up, because nobody's coming to save nobody. That's the bad part about it, and that's why community, I think, is important. And I think it's important that we try to figure this stuff out as a bunch of people in the prepper community. Some know each other more personal than others, but I think we do need to try to collaborate, because that way we can all have each other's backs. And some may have a well on their property. Somebody say, hey man, come fill your water jugs up. Do you have, I don't know, could you bring a generator over to charge my devices up? In exchange, come fill your water jugs up. Or, hey man, I got some fruits and vegetables from my garden. I don't know. Do you have any canned goods that you can switch me? We can barter each other for. I got some medical stuff over here. Do you have? I don't know. You give me a couple of gallons of water. Anything. Like, we need to be able to help each other in situations like that, because I think it will take a village, depending on how bad things could eventually get. I remember, I think about it was like a year or two back, they had a blackout. I think it was in Europe. They had a bad blackout. People stuck on the subway, trains, street. I mean, it was really bad over there. I remember they were saying something about people walking to get their kids from school. I mean, they took public transportation, and it was really bad over there. So things can happen. So I just think that it hasn't happened for us that bad yet, but who's to say it won't happen? So I just think we need to make sure that we don't be in the chaos if things does happen. I don't know, just venting to you guys, man, just brainstorming. Just a little worried about how things can get. Because actually, it'd be, depending on how bad it get for some of us, it'd be like something new. So it'd be kind of, I don't want to say kind of frightening to have to go through something like that. But if you already been in that prepper mindset, you just already kick in. I already got what I need. I just need to just lay low and don't involve myself in the chaos. So just make sure you have some kind of way to prepare food, even if you have to prepare food discreetly in home so nobody else knows that you're preparing food, which propane camp stove, cooktop, whatever you could do inside your home, so you don't have to be out in the chaos. That's one thing I would like the SP Prepper family to take serious. Things can, if things go bad, I don't want you guys to be in a mix. I want you guys to be laying low, just enjoying your preps. Keep trying to, protect you and your family, keep you and your family safe, and not be out putting everybody in you and your family in danger, trying to see what you can scavenge at the last minute because, hey, it finally happened. That's what you don't want to be in that situation. So, yeah, I just think we need to really just take this a little bit more serious because I don't know what's going to happen. And I know I probably said that before. I don't know what's going to happen, but it's good not to know what's going to happen, and it's good to prepare for stuff. So just in case anything does happen, you'll be okay and be able to last or ride it out until things get better. But nobody's going to come and save you. That's what I want to emphasize. Nobody's coming to save you, especially if it gets bad enough. That's why I think community is important, because in situations like that, we got each other. Some people may have a good, like I said, they may have a spring on their property. Some people may have, good fruits, vegetables and stuff. And some people may have, ammunition. Some people may have, medical supplies. Some people may be medical, in a medical profession that can help each other out. So it's like we just need to all be able to, in a situation where we can help each other. So that's what my goal is. Even though I do know some people from the prepper world, that I know that we can count on each other. I would say that, but I think it just needs to go beyond that, because if anything does happen and things extend beyond what we prepare for, if we can still help each other, that would be awesome. That's one of the things. I just don't want to see nobody in the SP Prepper family to get caught out there with their pants down, so to speak, and not be ready or prepared to weather the storm, whatever the storm may be. So, yeah, SP Prepper, just brainstorming, thinking, what may be coming. I know this fuel thing is starting to get out of hand pretty much. Weather's been pretty weird. It's been cold, a little chilly in the morning and hot in the afternoon. So, some people got the sniffles and all that kind of stuff. The allergies are still going around. That's another thing that I think that people don't really talk about too much is allergy medicine. For people that have those seasonal allergies and those the pollen that's allergic to that pollen, that seems to almost want you to get a new nose or something. I don't know. That thing seems to drive your nose crazy. But I just think that's another thing we need to try to prepare for too is allergies. I don't hear too many people talking about that, but that's just another thing. So yeah, and another thing too, I don't really know how to work this YouTube thing that good as far as editing and all that. I just try to make my videos straight and raw. That's just what it is, until I can figure this stuff out. But it is the message. That's what I'm more concerned about, getting the message across. So yeah, just brainstorming, thinking of the SP Prepper family, just making sure everybody be okay. Make sure everybody be able to at least sustain themselves 72 hours or better in case of a disastrous situation. So stay prepared so you don't have to get prepared. SP Prepper, please like, comment, and subscribe. Please share the videos if you know someone who will be interested in this stuff, or who's maybe interested in prepping and on a fence and just trying to learn something. I got some videos that can help them out. So to the next video, stay prepared so you don't have to get prepared, and be safe. SP Prepper out.